Hello, what's happening? Welcome back to another Dysfunctional Gaming's Talking D&D. I am Thundercat0420. The guy in the cloud across the screen is GM Patch Nasty.
I cast Stinking Cloud and it was super effective. I'm confusing my references with D&D and Pokemon. Hi, everyone.
I mean, a DM could say it was super effective.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've never in my whole DMing career, I'm going to add that to my lexicon now.
I'd like to cast Fog Cloud. It's been super effective.
How are you, Thundercat?
I'm all right. Day off. Can't complain with that.
Oh, wow. Kids, it's like we work at the same place. I also have a day off.
Yeah, except your other day off is switched with mine.
Yeah, I had
you're at the end of your weekend. I'm at the beginning of my weekend.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, well.
What do we got in store? What are we doing? What did we do last time? It's been a couple weeks.
It's been 3 weeks. We talked about stuff. I'm gonna cheat and I'm gonna look at our old notes, as I can see you're clearly doing.
Barbarian classes.
Yes, we talked about
paths.
We talked about Data's class. We talked about
the barbarian paths.
We talked about Data's class, my class.
Yep. That can be found on Anchor.fm, Spotify, Apple Podcast, anywhere else that you listen to podcasts, and also on YouTube. And you'll be able to find all of our new content for D&D on our new YouTube, the Dysfunctional D&D page. That is somewhere in the link somewhere. I don't know. Somewhere there. I think, I don't know, maybe we didn't put it in there yet. It should be. If you haven't, it's basically a sibling station to our Dysfunctional Gaming. We are transferring all of our old Talking D&D VODs over to that as well, slowly, but it will all be there. And actually, this is being streamed to YouTube right now. So,
hi, YouTube.
On Dysfunctional D&D. So if you're out there in Dysfunctional D&D, hello, welcome in.
Come over to the Twitch and follow us too.
Yeah, do that, please.
Get all the content.
Get it all in there. This week, we are talking about building NPCs and NPC creation. We've already done this once a while back, and we kind of just want to reiterate on making NPCs. Sometimes it's just fun to make new NPCs. Sometimes it's fun to use new things from the books that have come out. So we decided to do basically another homebrew week where we make some NPCs, talk about different things that can affect NPCs and that nature.
An adventure is only as good as its NPCs. Like the first ones that stuck out onto my mind that are memorable for like Critical Role, the Black Powder Merchant. He made some moments and he was a scene stealing NPC. Second season, I believe, of Critical Role was Spurt, the Kobold. Tasselhoff was another notable NPC in your Tuesday campaign, the Horde of the Dragon Queen.
What about Garaxia? Who's your most notable NPC from Garaxia right now?
Newton.
Brainstorm.
Newton. His name is Newton.
His name is Brainstorm.
His nickety name is Brainstorm. You have to listen to at least 2 episodes before you can call him Brainstorm. His name is Newton.
I can call him Brainstorm.
You need to get more familiar. Yeah, you can call him Brainstorm.
I made the nickname.
Honestly, the memorable NPCs in that have been Newton so far and Dunnigan. I like Dunnigan, and then we murdered him.
I did not like Dunnigan.
Cleft or whatever, Clarvin or Clevin or whatever his name was from Beth's Strahd campaign. The one who talked like Kevin from The Office.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I remember him.
That voice just hit me, and I was like, all right.
Yeah, I mean, NPCs can really make your game fun. I like having NPCs around when I DM to push narrative if I need it. Also, it's good to have someone that can kind of mess with the party a little bit when they're not expecting it to change the plot or whatever. How you doing, Fuzzrab? I'm doing well, thank you.
Hi, Fuzz.
Just talking about our dysfunctional D&D YouTube channel and NPCs today. That's what we're going to talk about today. So what maybe so I wanted to make an NPC for the short campaign that I'm going to run for you guys on.
Well, first, I want you to tell me how you make an NPC, because I know for a fact that we make NPCs different.
I have like 4 different ways I do it.
Okay, give me the quickest way.
Mostly the quickest way is I just take a picture and I go, this is what this guy would do, and then I create a 4th level character depending on what level I want it to be.
Okay.
That's it.
That would be like a party member or just like a random?
Yeah, like a party member. Random NPC, I just write a name down. I write a race, one kind of random thing about that person, and maybe where that person works or how that the party might know them.
Okay.
I don't know why the links didn't work.
I'm when I make an NPC, if it's quick, how do they talk? Not like what do they sound like? How do they talk? What's that weird little tick they have? Like, do they speak with like a high vocabulary and like to try and use elongated words to try and profess their intelligence to other manner of humanoid creatures that they may be speaking to? Or do they kind of talk like quietly for you to actually have people pay attention to every word that they say? It's almost if they're hanging off their mouth. That's usually the quick ones. Or what are they doing with their hands? Because then I don't have to do a voice. I can just move my hands a little bit. And then for party members, usually 2 levels lower than whatever the highest level member of the party is, and then I flesh them out. I make a whole character for that, because then they're a reoccurring NPC, and I'm going to need their stats more often. A random townsfolk, I'm just going to need a name and, do they have an accent?
So there's a lot of like great things that you can go find on Google by just looking up like NPC generator. There's a few different things that I follow that you can find by looking up D&D information like that on Google that help you give you NPCs that they've created. You could always go to the DMs. Is it DM's Guild? Is that what it is?
DM's Guild.
You can always go to the DM's Guild and get NPC builders from people that have built them there. There's a lot of things like that you can do. You can grab the books and the DM's guide, and a few of the other companion books have a lot of the NPC type building stuff. And then there's a lot of people that make their own books, like Dice Geeks, or who's this lady? Table Fables by Madeline Hale.
You have a lot of those books.
Yeah, she did 2 good ones, and they were fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to because you think of so much stuff, you write so much, you're like, I need to change it. I need to write something a little different. I need a different idea, inspiration from other people, not just from like movies, but like different authors, different, just everyday. Like, make an NPC off of your boss, then that could be an NPC in your game. Like, that's someone you already know how they are and how they act. Why not? You know what I mean? Like, take inspiration from anything you can to make NPCs if you want to.
Hydra Bob.
What's that?
Hydra Bob. You've seen the first Deadpool movie, right?
Yep.
Where he just goes, Bob? So that's a real character in Deadpool. He's a member of Hydra, but like he's buddies with Deadpool outside of those things.
Gotcha.
So that's why, like, oh, I'm not going to kill you, but I'm going to knock you out. Like, that I thought would always be a funny NPC. Like, you have that one guard that the party doesn't kill, and then he ends up being a guard in another town. Like, oh shit, it's these guys again. Please don't hurt me.
Yeah.
And then see where that goes.
I was thinking maybe we could create a couple NPCs maybe that we could hand over to Vandal and have Vandal use randomly in Garaxia, possibly, or I also wanted to maybe make a couple NPCs that I could use in our short campaign that I plan on doing on Saturday nights.
Sure. I'm game for whichever. So I mean, it's firstly Vandal. It's up to Vandal.
Right.
Secondly, the shorts, the short campaigns that you plan on running. We could do that right now. Could you tell me a little bit about your campaign? Just a little.
Yes. It's a regular campaign.
So it's high action adventure type setting, not like murder mystery or anything like that.
It's going to be kind of the same kind of setting like Vandals.
Okay, so it's not like a whodunit. It's not like a
no.
Okay. All right, yeah. I can get behind that. What do you already have?
I have nothing.
Okay. So I'm gonna break this down into supernatural terms. Do you have your Bobby?
I don't watch Supernatural.
Okay. So do you have your
I'm sorry, chat. I'm sorry,
okay,
podcast listeners. I know Supernatural is like a huge cult classic, and people are gonna be mad at me for saying that I don't watch it, but like I've watched I watch a lot of television. Do I have a Professor X?
Your quest giver, the guy who's gonna tell the party what they have to do.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I have that. I have the idea of the campaign. Okay, good. At least me and Fuzzrab are on the same page.
Supernatural's a great show. It's a really good tropey monster of the week thing. You could append it into D&D. It's really, really easy to do. But do you have like a Cerebro? Do you have the thing that the quest giver gets their information from?
Yes.
Okay. I
need the beast.
Mm-hmm.
And I need like the Cyclops or Wolverine.
Okay, so when you say the beast, you mean like the beast member of the X-Men, not like the monster. Okay.
Yes.
I was thinking Savage.
No, well, I thought we were still going X-Men, so you
we were, and then my mind went Disney and
Kill the beast. Well, that we could do that too.
Yep. That'd be a weird campaign. You're not people, you're objects.
This campaign's got to be fucking weird already. I already know this, so don't.
Okay. So you need your Cyclops. I'm gonna say Cyclops sounds like a team member. So that's a full fleshed out NPC. I don't think you'd have Beast going out as much, so I think
Beast is going to be like he's going to be like the magic shop guy or the
Q in your Bond.
Yep. Yeah. Here's your weapons, your armorer.
So you don't need him fully fleshed out. So
yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna write Cyclops on my thing, with the quotations around it.
All right. Let's start with the Beast because that'll be easier. Beast, I would say he's usually got some sort of scientific instrument in his hands. His hands are usually occupied by something. If they're not, he fidgets with his glasses as they move up and down on his face to bring attention to that he's smart. Talks in a very sophisticated manner. Very, very proper.
Does he have to though?
He doesn't have to. I mean, if you want to go full scooter and catch a ride, I'd be fine with that too. But I mean, that's up to you. It's your voice.
Well,
that's
you sound like a robot.
What it boils down to. Yes, that's
back.
what we can have the beast sound like. Yes. Exterminate.
Okay. I think he's smart, but he doesn't have the words for the parts. Like he kind of like makes up words for parts as
fumbles
he
them?
goes. Yeah, like he'll be like, "So I
Okay.
used the extrapolator," and they're like, "This is a fucking walking stick."
Oh, okay. All right. So he Mr. Dinks it.
Yeah,
Like he
but the
uses...
stuff he makes is awesome. He's like a MacGyver,
All right.
and he uses big words for things that he doesn't need to.
Now describe him. What would he be? That's really what boils it down to. Like that's the finishing touches of a... He's probably about 6'4".
I think he'd be maybe he's like a big guy, but he's in a he's Professor Xavier. He's in like a floating chair,
Wheelchair
that he's built for himself.
A chair that's constantly on, like it has a levitate enchantment.
Yeah.
Like he can control it.
But
Okay.
you don't know if he's paraplegic or not. He just always
What color is
sits
the
in
chair?
I want to say like a bright orange. It's like a specific
orange?
like a specific metal or item needs to and makes it bright orange to make it float or something.
Like a residuum or like insert metal here. Okay. Yeah. Are they humanoid? Do they look like you and me? Are they elven? Are they dwarven?
That would be cool if he
was
was more of like a maybe like an animated armor or something that floats in the chair. Like the chair's part of his body, maybe, or a warforged.
I like the sentient animated armor because a warforged, like there could be more like him, but there's only one of him if he's sentient animated armor. Okay, yeah, go with that. Because then if you need to, and there's like an attack on X, you can use these stats and then change a couple things. Should you want to put your players in peril and who to save?
But still doesn't know the words for the parts he uses.
It's either that, or he could fumble words. Like he and just can't seem to get the words right.
So I mean,
gloves?
He's just a big armor guy, so yeah, he could wear gloves if he wanted to. Big rubber gloves. He wears big rubber gloves because he's metal and he doesn't want to conduct current.
It's clever. It's clever. I like that. You got your beast, buddy.
Yeah. There's my armorer.
All right. Now we get to do the thing that nobody wants to do in Stat Cyclops. Great.
We're not doing Cyclops. We're doing Scott Summers without power.
Boo. That's even worse than Cyclops. Scott Summers without powers. How can you make Cyclops worse? Take away his powers. There you go. Fucking clip that, send that to Marvel. Fuck you.
You want to really hate Scott Summers? Take his powers away. You're really gonna fucking hate him then.
You're just a normal whiny teenager. Great. Awesome. Can't wait to see you.
Why are you still wearing sunglasses?
Fucking Corey Hart's dead because he wore sunglasses at night.
You don't need them anymore.
All right. So I've always thought that being the leader of the team, I think he's a ranger. Like that's typically, it's either the mastermind thief, which they added in fucking Tasha's, or they're a ranger. Because rangers kind of can heal. They can deal some decent damage. I hate them. But it kind of fits a leadery role.
What if we did now let's see. I guess he's gonna be running with the party, so I gotta kind of figure out what level I want him to be.
7.
So I was thinking like we do 4 levels of ranger and then maybe 3 levels of artificer. So then he's basically Batman. He has like gadgets. He like has gadgets and shit while he's like could be like, ooh, I hear something.
First of all, Batman's a barbarian rogue. We're not
Well,
even gonna get into this.
So there, we could talk about this because there's other kinds of there's two kinds of Batman. There's the techie like good guy Batman, and then there's the asshole. I'm gonna punch you in the face until you bleed out, and then I'm gonna bring you back to life. Batman.
That's the same Batman. Go
no,
on.
It's not.
Same Batman.
Depends on who's playing him, I guess.
As long as he doesn't have a gun,
as long as it's
same
Christian Bale, he's the barbarian rogue.
Like serious, it's like barbarian rogue Batman. Like he takes a beating and walks away from it, and he can sneak in the shadows.
There's a haberdasher. There's a haberdasher AI that someone made. Someone made it. It was a fake one. It's a homebrew. Someone made a haberdasher, but it was basically Batman, except you threw hats instead of batarangs.
So you're Odd Job.
Yeah. But well, you're not just Odd Job because you're still Batman.
Oh, nice. Okay. But yeah, like, I digress. The man takes a fucking beating and walks away from it.
True.
You gotta shrug off half that damage.
You gotta also heal too. Rubbing the grits on you and then being like, ooh,
that's where the rogue comes in. You steal all your money. Boom, boom, boom.
Go to the clerics and have them heal you.
Heal me. But no, I think
it's
like
heal me.
I mean, is he making his gadgets or is he just using gadgets?
Well, I will that now. We're still on Batman here. Let's move back.
No, we're on whiny teenage Scott Summers.
He never made gadgets in the first place.
Okay, well, I mean, we said artificer, right? You could always throw in rogue so he can use it as a bonus action, use whatever he has. Like if Beast gives him a fucking smoke bomb. He doesn't have to know what it is, he just has to know to throw it on the ground.
Well, I mean, and Rangers can throw pretty good.
Exactly. And then being able to bonus action use a smoke bomb. And then still fire off a couple arrows. Sorry.
All right, so we're going to go Ranger Rogue.
In my opinion, if you're multi-classing, Rogue or Fighter is usually the dips that you'll want to take for any multi-class because they kind of round each other out.
But we're not multi-classing. We're creating we're creating an NPC that we want to fit into the world that we're trying to make.
I know. I'm just saying it's a good dip.
Saying.
An action surge at level 2 is super fucking handy. So, Ranger Rogue is Scott Stummer. So, what silly bow is he going to use? Is he using some fucking bow that comes out of his eyes, or?
He's also a robot that shoots arrows from his face.
Hey man, it could be it's a vision guided bow of laser beams that you fire via open your eyes. I don't know, man. It's D&D. You can make that shit work.
Sure.
You're NPC. I'm just asking questions.
No, he's probably going to use a bow and arrow like a normal person does.
Okay, fair enough.
How about he doesn't even use a bow and arrow? He just uses a heavy crossbow all the time.
Yes, or a hand crossbow.
Heavy crossbows and hand crossbows.
Yep. That he shoots from his eyes.
That's why it does more damage.
Mm-hmm. So he's level 4 ranger, level 3 rogue.
Yep.
That split. So he would be the hunter rangers, just so he could do dex or damage.
Yep.
And then what type of rogue would he be? That's where it opens up, because then you have level 3.
Maybe it's probably assassin.
Assassin. Mastermind.
Yeah.
All depends.
What would his favorite enemy be? Humanoids?
Yep. Or constructs.
Probably humanoids.
If we're hunting sentinels, it's constructs.
What would that mean? The only reason they got him was to hunt sentinels with his laser eye.
Yep. Fucking
like,
laser beams from his eyes.
They were like, this kid keeps blowing up high schools. Can you just take him, please? Oh, well, we'll use him for something.
Sure, we'll have someone hold him up in front of this giant robot and pull open his eyes. Perfect. There we go.
We'll cut his head off and use it in making fake Deadpool.
That's good. Yeah, that, no, we're not even going to start on that one. Fuck that movie.
Humanoids. Hunter's Mark, obviously. The basic ranger stuff.
Hunter's Mark, cure wounds.
Yeah.
When he levels up, you can get volley. Volley of arrows or whatever it's called.
Cool.
That was a good one. All right, so you've got.
I don't need to create that like character right now, but we've got the NPC basically.
Yeah, you don't need bonds or anything. Like that's you can start to develop with characters and like be like, wow, this person saved my life. That's a bond right there. You can introduce flaws as the game goes on.
Right. Like, so the quest giver, I can tell you who the quest giver is because you've met him before in a different campaign. Regis Tiggerwilly. He's the halfling from the Legends of Dritz books.
Good God. Okay. All right. You're gonna go real weird on this, aren't you?
Oh, I have such a good idea to introduce you guys to each other. It's gonna be so funny. Yeah, you're gonna have like the first session is going to be so much fun. You're gonna laugh your asses off.
Yeah, I already have my plans for our little one shots, which I hope you guys will find funny. I think it's fucking hysterical.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great content for our Saturday nights to like watch us just literally laugh for about 2 hours.
I only have one NPC so far.
Well, I have 2 now. Well, 3, including Regis.
Yeah, I have the one. It's the narrator. Yep.
Dysfunctional Dad asked me last night. Well, you might have been in there before you went to bed. He wants to be an NPC in Vrist.
Like him or Sal?
He said, "Can I be an NPC?" That's what he said. And this was before I told him that we were doing NPC creation today.
Okay.
I was like, can you show up for talking D&D and tell us about your NPC? He said, probably not. I said, all right, looks like we're going to make it.
Cool.
Let me get to my Vrist campaign NPC area.
I already know he's going to be one of the pit bosses in a casino we're going to go to. I already
Can you read
that? Bounty board.
Yeah, that's you, asshole. I had to make a whole fucking sheet and a half of bounties.
You're welcome.
Oh, you had just met these people. Man, I have to remember all this stuff.
I don't remember any of it, if it helps.
Dude, I am so, like, looking at this stuff going, shit.
Hold on. Let me grab my,
Oh, here they are. Here's the NPCs. He's going to be in the water ward of Aston Springs.
Good old Ludrak's lair. Last note in my book.
Yeah, that's Nigel.
Ludrak.
Nigel Ludrak. Old half elf. Caretaker Johnny.
I hated that place.
Ludrak,
So-
such a good name.
I don't know anything. Well, which one was Aston Springs?
Aston Springs is where you guys are now.
Which one's that?
That's
Who comes from there?
That's the Pasha's and grandmother's place.
Cat person. Gotcha.
Yeah, Tabaxi is from there.
Yeah. You sure he wouldn't be in the casino?
No, not no. He could be one of those guys that we find everywhere.
He could be. He could be like one of the money managers.
He could be Hydra Bob.
There you go. Perfect. He's Hydra Bob.
All right. Matt or Dysfunctional Dad is going to be our Hydra Bob guard.
Hired goon.
We make him exactly like Dysfunctional Dad.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Literally him.
Doesn't like any entertainment. Conspiracy theorist.
You ask him where to go to find entertainment, and he's like, there's nowhere good around here.
What's entertainment?
You know, there's
You
a guy
good
named
novels lately?
there's a guy named Jack Black that makes a lot of good music. I'm more of a U2 fan myself.
Oh, goober.
All right. Let's talk out an NPC for Garaxia, somewhere in Garaxia.
A slave.
Oh, someone that we might run into.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's his name?
Her name is Elena.
Okay. Tell me more about Elena.
I assume since it's got pineapples, it's kind of warm, so she's kind of a, if you're a Critical Role fan, Marquesian.
Like Mortand.
Marquesian. Thank you, Beth. Like Mortan, darker hair, fit, like kind of wiry. Or like her skin's kind of still like not cracked and chipped like most people due to the sun and the sand wherever we're going. I'm not sure where this is.
I wonder if it's like Egyptian-ish.
That's what
I
I'm
was
assuming.
thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. But I would kind of want her to be some.
Is she like one of the like the higher in the, like, people trust her in the ranks of the slaves, I guess. It sucks saying that, but like
she's a lady of the cloth. She's one of the few people who are religious in this whole experience and still pray for salvation. That's why a lot of people turn to her, because she's optimistic in this terrifying situation brought on by the terrifying tiefling twins.
The terrifying tiefling twins.
I love the alliteration of it.
Vandal is like, she's a human? Are they all human?
Most of them are human. That would be
crazy if it was just all human.
I would say most of them. Some of them might be like.
Well, I know it's like kind of like
a mixed bag everywhere.
Yeah, mixed everywhere. So, but I'm like, because we're so used to having eclectic groups of people. Imagine if it was mostly human, like.
Yeah.
Or whatever, mostly Minotaur. Like, one of us is going to be like, what the fuck?
Human, definitely human.
We can't. I mean, we can't say we're making this up as we go.
Yeah, that's typically how most D&D goes. Uh
But it's not our world. Is what I'm saying. Like we can't. This is not. This is none of this is canon. This is us working our minds around the actual game.
But this Elena could be like a potential ally with like a resistance, some way to aid us in knowing what's going on there without having to get into the shit first. Probably if you needed to put stats to her, like a druid. I want to say druid, not cleric.
Me too.
Or paladin. It could be paladin or druid.
Maybe she draws her power from a god.
Mm-hmm. But that was my thought process. If we're still going to go get the slaves, if we were going to the table place, I had a fucking sleazy pit boss in mind. Basically, think the bad guy from the first Space Jam, Danny DeVito, but just turn him into.
That's a great
right
NPC bad guy.
And it gives you something to do with your hand because then you can just like hold on to a stogie. Yep.
Grab a fucking pen and hold it like a stogie. Oh, you know what I'm saying?
Patch, why do you have 6 Snicker bars today? Oh, I'm playing a character that I need to hold one of these for,
and I'm going to take a bite of one every time I put it in my mouth.
Lesson for you DMs out there. If you have a sweet tooth, Snickers bars will always be a good prop.
Great prop for a cigar.
Yep. I mean, they're a great prop for anything, depending on what you use it for, but, you know.
All right, so I was down in my basement today.
For the first time in forever.
No, I went down last week and cleaned. I went down today for an hour and cleaned. I'm getting everything set so we can start really putting the construction in. But I went down and I looked at the case with all the minis in it. And I was like, man, I really need to start using these giants because I have like 12 giants in there. I was like, we could totally have a whole campaign on giants. And
I'm pretty sure some of those are mine too.
No, I was even looking at those ones. I'm not even talking about the specialty giant ones you brought. I have like 4 stone giants and 4 frost giants that are just chilling in there from the Tyranny of Dragons ones.
Here I got 2 over there. I think I got a hill giant at your house, a fire giant, a cloud giant.
But you have like the boss giant too there.
Yeah, I do. I have King Hecatron.
And so
he was such a cool.
I'm like looking at all of them. I'm like, oh, why don't we make a giant NPC friend or foe or shopkeep or something?
You come up with an NPC because I already have mine in my head because I read this book so many fucking times as a kid, and I would want to just put it in there and see how many of the people sitting at the table have read that book. That's like I would go straight up BFG. Like,
okay, that's what I thought you were going to talk about.
The wiry beanpole giant who just makes dreams and tries to help people, and asshole giants all around him.
Or you also have Jack and the Beanstalk giant.
Yeah, there's the weird way to open a so you guys are meeting in a tavern, and then all of a sudden a cow comes flying in through the window. And you hear a voice come crashing in from outside. Where is Big Head? And it turns out the town has this hill giant problem, but how they talk to the giant is they get out this big giant head, and that's how they talk with him because he only talks to other giants. Like I heard that and I was like, that's so simplistically brilliant
and so funny.
Because the first when a cow comes flying in through the window, and if you're level 3 and it's a hill giant, you ain't gonna want to fight that if you know D&D.
Or you do fight it and get your asses handed to you and run away and go, okay, maybe we shouldn't have done that. Or TPK'd and write new characters.
I'd kill one of them and then have like the rest of the townspeople come out, like moving the big head around, like, trying to
stop it.
They don't know any better. Leave them alone.
I will eat this one thinking of you.
I always like because depending on the giant, they're not smart, but they're big, so they're fearsome like that, and you can talk however you want to with the giants, and no one will think any better. And say weird shit, and see what if the party reacts poorly.
I had fun making the stone giant colony that you guys were friends with. The ones that
was Puma.
The ones that were pushed out of the regular colony and created their own. They were artists and like Renaissance giants compared to the other colony of asshole that were fighters and didn't care
about
the
art college as opposed to like the football college.
Yeah, exactly.
That was fun. That was one of my favorite. Did I ever have a giant? I did. I used King Hecatron and I just threw him into fucking the Sunday homebrew because I was like, that's easy stats and he's fucking beefy and he has a dragon. Sure. But I was like, giants and dragons are typically the two NPCs that the parties aren't gonna want to fight. They'll talk to it.
Oh yeah,
until they have to.
Well, that's like you made those beholders NPCs. I'm not gonna fucking start a fight with beholders.
4 of them.
Yeah, they're all right next to each other. You're not gonna start shit with any of them. You're gonna be like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever you say, and just keep on moving.
I'll buy your stuff.
Yeah.
I made an Illithid and
and that's another thing. Like Garaxia, everything is cool. So you're like, oh, this is Newton. He's a mind flayer. You're like, well, at least Malcolm from Faerun is like, yeah, that's not cool where I'm from. Like,
no, not at all.
So you make them into NPC. You make monsters into NPCs and create havoc in your players' minds, basically, because they won't want to start shit with something that they know can destroy them.
It's like the Society of Brilliance in the Underdark. It's like a collection of like some of the most terrifying monsters of the Underdark, but they're peaceful and they're very intelligent. Like Graziliax is an actual member of that, and I was like, oh, so he's a friendly mind flayer. Let me read that again.
Possibly.
Maybe. Okay. There we go.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, they're allies. They're not friendly. They're just allies. Their stuff align, and when they don't, that's when they get ugly.
That's another thing that I learned from Out of the Abyss was with Glabagool when Jubilex gave a gelatinous cube sentience, and you guys basically had a pet gelatinous cube that could talk to you. I was like, wonder what would happen if you did that with like a mimic or like other things. Potentially someone have a pet. I was like,
well, you think about it, like you meet Droop, and you all of a sudden have a goblin buddy. You have Mel, the kobold, who they're all evil creatures until they're treated like shit by their friends.
Yep.
Droop was treated like shit by all of the goblins, and we felt bad for him. Well, but they're his kin. Like, he was treated by his shit, and then he became like, well, these guys are assholes, but these guys are nice. I'm gonna be nice to these guys. Like,
I can lick all the floors I want.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
sounds great.
They're gonna take care of me. I love it. So you can make NPCs out of monsters and not even think you're doing it until it's too late. Mel, we want you to come with us from there on out. Okay.
I hated that goddamn kobold. I really did. Barondir hated that kobold, dragon worshipping little piece of shit.
And then what happened?
I got to be Elias and be a loaf about kobold and do 2 attacks the whole campaign, and it was great.
But still, we got to play kobolds in a campaign because of Mel.
We got to play kobolds wearing sunglasses.
Unionized kobolds. So yeah, that was that. Next week.
Hold on. No. I I want to do one more thing.
Okay.
What's one of your favorite stupid voices to imitate that you would want to throw on to an NPC just to break your players?
I have to go back to the Roper. Hiya, guys!
Fucking still breaks me.
I heard you were looking for a paladin friend to go with. Well, my Tempest is... Just start saying stuff like... My great Oven's Raven.
I forget the name of the dwarf, but the 3 sessions we got to do in Baldur's Gate.
Friggin' okay,
The
never
dwarf,
mind, not
the Duragar that was cross-eyed and just talked a little like this. Oh, hello, how are you? No, you're over there.
Yeah.
It was like I was like, oh, that's so stupid, but I get to just say it for like 3 minutes and never do it again.
Pickle Boulder Shoulder.
Pickle Boulder Shoulder. I fucking love that one.
Ooh. Doodad. No, me Doodad.
I've still wanted to break out a walk-in mid-game. Just throw it onto like a random person or a thing, and then just start interacting with the people.
I'm waiting for Vandal to be like, when you're like, I'd like to go up to that person then talk and ask them a question, and then you go over and you're like, excuse me, I have a question to ask, and then have him be like, yes, how can I help you, sir? And then you just have the longest, slowest conversation, and it makes you angry. It makes you angry because, like, damn it, this is getting nowhere, and I just keep saying the same stuff over and over.
Honestly, I want that. I want that to happen, just so I can watch DD clip that and then see everybody else's reactions in like a supercut to me and Joe No Named NPC having the longest winded conversation. It'll be about 20 minutes of the podcast, or 20 minutes of the game right there, and I'll figure out where I'm gonna go to get that sandwich. That'll be the whole point of the conversation right there.
We're all gonna be like, what the hell is going on?
I just derailed the game to get a kid.
I've been waiting for it, man. I've been waiting for it. Like, I know it's gonna happen.
I've been waiting for him to drop a Morgan Freeman.
He's still new to DMing, so I think he's starting to see the little tricks and stuff that he can do to pull out, get us off of our games.
I'm still waiting for him just to say for brevity's sake, and then when I'm like, oh, he's grown so much.
Let's skip forward, son of a bitch. Yeah, all right. So that would be the voice, by the way. Yeah, I would probably do the Roper or possibly like well, I mean, Malcolm is a fun one to do. Like, just adding that little lisp to someone can really, like, make it sound a little bit sillier.
I saw something today on Twitter that was called the gloves of onomatopoeia.
Okay.
Where if you punch someone, it says a word like "blow," "biff," and it does psychic damage too. And I was like, "That's so stupidly funny. It's just my work."
All right, so with all of that NPC creation, is there any one tip that you would just say right now that really would help?
Just write down names and close your eyes as you describe them. And if you can't do voices, don't. If you want to try a voice, just go with it. Make it your own. That's really what it comes to an NPC.
You could close your eye. You don't need to talk. Don't need to change your voice. Close one eye and talk. It's going to make you talk a little different.
Close your eyes when you're describing them. Like,
no, but I'm saying you can close one eye and talk, and it's going to make you sound a little different because you got one eye closed the whole time. That could be that character's defining feature. And then people might go, should I ask about his eye? Oh,
Who would
this
ask
old
about that?
thing.
2 would certainly be like, what happened to the eye?
And then you'd hear a long-winded story about how he lost his eye.
2 wouldn't stay around for that conversation. He'd be like, wrap it up.
Yeah. Well, you asked about my eye.
I did. How did you lose? Let's do it.
Okay.
So next week, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Rogues.
On this great station, Rogues. We have
WSTB, all the stabs, all the time.
we have got our Talking D&D next Tuesday. We got War for Garaxia on Friday. This Friday with myself, GM Patch Nasty, Vandal Zero as our host and DM, who walked away from the camera this week when we press go live. We'll get it. We'll get there eventually. We're only on episode 11 or 12 right now, so we'll get there by hopefully like 100. Then on Saturday, we might be here, we might not be, we don't really know yet. But starting next Saturday, we should be getting into a short D&D campaign hosted by me. I will also be DMing and hosting, not just hosting. I'm doing a great job right now, so but if we do stream this Saturday, it's going to be around 9:30, and yeah, catch us then. You got anything going on this week?
I'm beating Lego Marvel's Lego Superheroes 2 either tomorrow or Thursday, 8:30, 9:30 respectively, and then maybe some Destiny 2 after that. I don't know.
Cool. I should be streaming tomorrow at some point. Look on Twitter or join us in Discord to find out when we go live. And then I'll be back on Sunday.
Join the Discord.
I think that's it. I think those are my 2 days. We plan on having a lot of content come out on our YouTube, Dysfunctional D&D. We have a bunch coming out. We've had shorts coming out almost every other day the past 2-3 weeks. Please go join us there. A lot of D&D content, and we're going to be uploading all of our episodes from last year up onto that site as well. So if you need to catch anything, you want to catch any of the old VODs, they'll all be there. So please go subscribe, hit the bell, and leave comments.
Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell to stay notified. There it is. Thank you, Fuzzrab. My chat is broken.
And also don't forget to follow us on Twitter, on the Dysfunctional Gaming Twitter, and also our regular Twitters, GM Patch Nasty and Thundercat0420. And we also have a Patreon. I uploaded the next 5 outlines today, and last month we uploaded some bloopers from Zombo Force. So if you're on there, I know Fuzz is a Patreon. He gets all that background information. He gets to watch the old videos. I'm going to be loading up next week the 2 character creations that I have not loaded up yet. Cool?
Cool.
All right, where should we go?
I don't know. It's like asking a fucking stoned guy to pick what snack he wants from the vending machine. I want them all. I want to go everywhere.
We could go to
Dog's playing Battle. I was going to say he's playing Battletoads with JPEG.
Yeah, I might as well go there.
Well, it depends. I was going to say, is he JPEG tonight or is he JPAS, depending on how his video quality is.
Thank you guys all for being here, especially I don't know what's up with our Streamlabs. We're gonna have to figure out why it's not logged in.
Fucking broken.
DD, break it. It's broken. Fix it, DD. Raid Throg TV. Enter. There he is, pressing the end screen. Is Randy here this week? Is he gonna talk about NPCs or?
Well, I mean, My favorite way to make an NPC is typically I pick an instrument and then I start making that noise. Like if I wanted to be a saxophone player, I could go boo doo doo boo doo doo boo doo doo boo doo. This is the song that I'm playing while you eat. Cause I'm an NPC out on the street. You're eating that meat. I don't know, but you got some shoes on your feet. That'll be 1 gold, please. That's how street performing works, right? You sing some things and then they give you the money, right? Don't you, cat?
I've never been a street performer.
Oh, well, that's not what I heard. Well, thank you for the alert, Miss PMX Angel TV. I appreciate it. You have a wonderful night. Now, you take care. Bye.
Bye, Miss PMS Angel. Thank you for the lurk. We're leaving. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everybody.